Hello, we're back for another video, and this one is the GRE anomaly, the one I've been talking about doing. I had to do a GRE anomaly on my it's my save that I was doing playthroughs on the game when I started my playthrough. This is that save. I never actually finished it because, well, I didn't really like my playthrough series of Dying Light wasn't really doing good in any way, and I know that's can be a little confusing, especially since my channel isn't crazily popular, so chance of getting as many views isn't that high. But compared to a lot of my other videos, my Dying Light 2 playthrough wasn't doing very good, so it didn't seem very enjoyable. And it's not because I think the video was bad myself, it's because kind of just how people's attention spans are nowadays. Most people can't really sit through playthroughs, and the only reason why a lot of playthroughs do get a lot of views are when it's a certain game, because some games are really good for playthroughs. There's a lot like some like awesome horror games can be very good for that, but this game just I don't think it sits right as a playthrough. I don't think it just doesn't work, and just people's attention spans are so low nowadays. I forgot I don't have the glider. Just killed myself. Um, People's attention spans are so much lower nowadays, so most people won't sit through playthroughs, so that's why those don't really do as good, unless you are a very popular YouTuber or content creator and you have already quite a massive fan base. And if you're not, then chance of getting a lot of views on playthroughs, unless it's a game that is very good for it, then yeah, you're not really gonna get a lot. If you're gonna ask what games are good for playthroughs, current moment, I'm not sure. You kind of just figure them out by seeing what a lot of people are doing. Obviously, newer doing in a game that just comes out is a good way to do a playthrough because people would like to see how that game is working so they can try it themselves. It's very attention span based. Yeah, so that's kind of the reason why I'm playing on my playthrough account, because this account I didn't really get too far into the story because I was only playing it on playthroughs, and I stopped the playthrough. So now it's just an empty account with nothing to do on it and not very great stuff. So we're just going to use it to do a GRE anomaly, because on my personal account I have flown through all those. Might be a lot harder because I don't have anywhere near as good of stuff, and I gotta find a way to do the parkour more naturally because I don't have as many high stats and things like that. But we are on our way to a location. I believe there is a GRE anomaly nearby. We are going to try our best to do that. I like the GR anomalies. It might potentially be too hard for me because, depending on the situation, GR anomaly can be not easy for you at all.
How could that be?
So here it is right here. Problem is I don't have a place to sleep. I guess I can go to that windmill. Alright, so I'll be back at nighttime so we can do the GR anomaly because they're nighttime activities. I just have to quickly grab this windmill and then sleep so it becomes nighttime. Alright, here we are at nighttime at the GR anomaly. There is our guy, and let's see if we can do this. So when you go into this, you want to make sure you have a really good weapon because this is a boss. And it's not that they're all super easy and there's no challenge, because a lot of them are fairly hard. Only reason why I was able to do that one so quick is because I've done so many of them, and I've kind of just learned your best bet is just to run in, jump at him, and just swing rapidly, because you'll get the most damage in right at the beginning, because he's just like loading up, I guess you could say. So that's where you're gonna get the most damage in, is right at the beginning. Honestly, I have a harder time with the smaller zombies because they're non-stop grabbing, which I hate, and it's such a pain. See, all they want to do is grab. You can see that. It's really annoying. Make this so much better if they didn't just grab you and they actually hit you more often. Now, if you're struggling and you're not able to do one of these very easily, depends on the level of the thing. Obviously, that was only level 1, so it wasn't very hard. There is these spears, which I've mentioned before, are very good. pick them up, throw them at, it'll do a lot of damage. They're meant to have a bunch of damage. They're one-time used weapons, but they are very good. There's also lots of spots to do parkour. Sometimes there's ropes you can swing on, lots of spots to run around, get space. There's usually some loot in here too, like loot around you. And then after you finish, you get a fairly decent reward, which is one of these containers. You open it up, and there's usually, well, there always is a GRE inhibitor, a crate or whatever, and then there's usually some form of legendary item, whether it's a med kit or a weapon. It might not be early on because you're still, the game's like less stuff spawn when you're lower level, but there will be later, like later games, you do a lot of these. You just open up your GRE container, you grab your inhibitor, which is your reward here. Usually you get like 2, which is pretty sweet, and then you grab your stuff, and that is it. That's how you get some really good stuff early on. Doing GRE anomalies is probably the best way. You get great loot. They're not unbelievably hard. They're not too easy, unless you go into it and you know what to do, and it's a lower level one. It might be pretty easy, but these are actually fun. I enjoy these. This was a very cool thing to add to the game. I like the zombie. I think it's called the Revenant. Very cool. I love these. GRE anomalies, probably my favorite endgame activity to do, which is why I have them all done. A lot of the other activities aren't as great, or they used to be better until they started adding things to the game to make it worse, like making every zombie just choose to grab and not hit you, which is just so annoying because it's not how the first game was at all. Or at least give us an option to do like the kick in the first one, where a zombie got on you, can kick him off you type thing. Just give us that option or something. But no, they did not. So just make sure you keep your immunity up. Notice mine's going down while you're doing this, because this can take you time if you're struggling with it. But it is worth it. It's worth doing it. It's not unbelievably hard, and you get some decent stuff out of it. So I highly suggest doing all these, because these are actually a lot of fun. And if you're ever confused and don't know where to find all these, and you wanted to do them but you don't have them all marked yet, if you go onto your phone and you download and let me find the name of it. There's you can search like the Apple Store or the Play Store for Dying Light 2 map. It'll be made by Map Genie. Very highly recommended option. But yeah, that is it for this video, and next video, and potentially the final one in this series, potentially there might be another one, will be the Dark Hollow daytime and nighttime version of it. Not separate videos, but I'll just show daytime and nighttime version. But yeah, that is it. GRE Anomaly, 10 out of 10. Probably the best event. Probably at the current moment, the only event I actually like in this game. Like, really like, because they're just constantly putting patches and updates, making this game worse and worse. So I would say, yeah, it'd be a game to try out if you've never played it. Definitely play the first one. But if you go to play the second one, do it now before they add another update to make it worse. Unless they fix some of the issues that they're doing and things that they've been making harder. But yeah, I love some of the events in it. But anyways, that's enough random talking. Yeah, I can't wait for the next. What the? You're interrupting my video. But yeah, I can't wait for the next big zombie game to come out, which is Dead Island 2. I'm so excited. Hopefully I have the money to purchase that and play it early on so I can show people. Another game I'm very excited for coming out this year. Unfortunately, it's not guaranteed to come out on a console yet, but it will be eventually, is Sons of the Forest. The second game of the Forest. It looks amazing, graphics look amazing, and the game looks super fun. Well, that is enough. I'm currently out of time because I'm about to turn into a zombie because I'm at 3 seconds. So, hope you enjoyed the video. See you in the next one.